It started on an ordinary night when everything seemed calm. I was about to go to sleep when I noticed something strange. My cat's eyes were glowing in the dark, but not in the usual way. Normally, cats' eyes reflect light slightly when a flashlight or a lamp shines on them, but this glow was different. It was brighter, almost like tiny orbs of light floating in the pitch-black room. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it was just a trick of the light, but when I looked again, the glow remained unwavering and strangely hypnotic. At first, I thought maybe my mind was playing games. After all, cats' eyes do shine because of a layer called the tapetum lucidum, which helps them see in low light. But this glow was too intense, almost unnatural. And it wasn't just the brightness. The color was a deep, almost eerie greenish blue that flickered subtly, like flames in a fireplace. I felt a shiver run down my spine. Then, the cat's behavior began to change. She used to be playful and affectionate, but now she seemed distant, almost watchful. At night, she would sit silently in corners, staring into darkness where I saw nothing. Sometimes, I heard faint whispers or soft scratching sounds when she was nearby, but there was no source I could find. It was as if she was listening to something beyond our world. One night, I tried to follow her when she slipped into the shadows. She moved silently, her glowing eyes the only light in the dark hallway. I felt compelled to keep watching, despite a growing sense of unease. The glow in her eyes pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. It was mesmerizing but deeply unsettling. I started to wonder if something else was inside her, some unknown force or presence that I couldn't explain. The more I watched, the more I realized this was not just a cat with shiny eyes. Something far stranger was at play. Every time her eyes lit up, the air around seemed to grow colder, heavier, as if darkness itself was gathering. That was the beginning of a mystery that would soon consume my life, revealing secrets I never wanted to know. The glowing eyes weren't just a quirk of nature. They were a warning after days of sleepless nights and mounting unease. I knew I couldn't ignore the strange glow in my cat's eyes any longer. It was no ordinary phenomenon, and something deep inside me urged to find out what was really happening. So I began digging, searching online, talking to locals, and diving into old books that whisper forgotten tales. One evening, I stumbled across a faded journal in the local library, penned by a villager decades ago. It spoke of mysterious cats whose eyes glowed not just because of biology, but because they were guardians between the world of the living and the shadows beyond. These cats, the journal claimed, were protectors against dark forces trying to slip into our reality. The glowing eyes were their beacon and shield. The more I read, the more connections I found. The journal mentioned a legend about the Light Keepers, cats chosen to guard souls and secrets of an ancient curse that haunted my town for centuries. People who ignored these cats faced misfortune, while those who respected them were mysteriously protected. The idea was unbelievable, but the eerie behavior of my cat fit too perfectly with the tales. I found out that my family, too, had a history entwined with these guardians. Stories passed down quietly, never spoken aloud. It seemed my cat was no ordinary pet, but part of a legacy I had never known. I began to notice other signs. Strange symbols carved faintly into my walls, an old amulet hidden in a drawer that I'd never seen before, and dreams that felt more like warnings. The glowing eyes were a clue, a symbol of something ancient and powerful, linked to me as much as to my cat. Yet, the truth was still shrouded in mystery. Was the glow a blessing or a curse? Was my cat truly a protector, or was she harboring something darker? With each discovery, my heart pounded harder, but I had to know. The line between reality and legend blurred, and I found myself drawn deeper into a secret world that refused to stay hidden. The nights grew colder and heavier as the glowing in my cat's eyes intensified. It wasn't just a light anymore. It was a signal, a presence that seemed to summon forces beyond my understanding. One evening, as the moon hid behind thick clouds, my cat's eyes shone with almost blinding brilliance. She stared directly at me, and in that moment, I felt a chill that penetrated to my bones. Suddenly, the air around us shifted. Shadows stretched unnaturally, creeping along walls and floor like living things. I heard faint whispers, indistinct but urgent, calling from the darkness. My cat stood firm, like a sentinel guarding a portal between worlds. It was then that I realized the truth. My cat's glowing eyes were a warning, not just a gift. I remembered the stories from the journal, the guardians who held back the darkness, but at a cost. The glow was a beacon for spirits and creatures that lurked beyond the veil, and now, because of me, they were being drawn closer. I felt their presence pressing against the edges of reality, threatening to break through. In the following days, strange things began to happen. Objects moved on their own. Cold spots appeared in rooms where the cat's gaze lingered longest. At night, I heard agonized screams and cries that weren't human. My cat would growl low and fierce, eyes blazing, standing between me and the creeping shadows. One terrifying night, a figure emerged from the darkness, a shadowy form with hollow eyes, reaching for me. My cat leapt in front, her glowing eyes flaring like twin beacons. A silent battle ensued, the room trembling with unseen forces clashing. I could only watch, frozen between fear and awe, as my cat fought to protect me. When the dawn finally broke, the shadows receded. But I knew this was only the beginning. The glowing eyes were a reminder that the darkness never truly leaves. It waits, it watches, and sometimes it calls. My cat was no longer just a pet. She was a guardian with a heavy burden. And I was tied to that burden now, too. The story ends on a chilling note. The glowing eyes still watch from the dark, and the question remains, what will happen when the light finally fades sometimes? The things we fear or don't understand hold deeper truths and hidden responsibilities. True courage lies in facing the unknown, protecting those we love, and embracing the mysteries that come with it. Even when it changes everything we thought we knew,